Yes. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. We are back again this morning, earlier than usual, but running a bit late at the same time. Imagine that. Set the stream for 11 o'clock, running late. It's 11:15. I do apologize. Internet's been doing a madness this morning, up and down like a yo-yo. I don't know what's going on with that flipping internet. Hopefully it sorts itself out. We've got a big stream today at 5 p.m. You better sort yourself out, bro. I swear down. Not even a joke. Big stream, 5 p.m. Me, Kevin Campbell, Lee Judges, chopping it up. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss this one. We're going to be talking everything Arsenal. It's going to be raw and uncut. That is the name of the series that I'm going to be bringing to this channel anyway. So we're going to be getting special guests on in the future. Big guys, just like Kevin, just like Lee as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be entertaining. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you're there, 5 p.m. Big up every single one of you guys in the building. We've got a number of stories to be running through. Transfers galore. You do not want to miss out on this one. Fasten your seatbelts, hit that like button. Let's get over 50 likes. Come on, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy for this channel. Over 50 likes on this video, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway. So we're being linked left, right, and center. I told you, don't expect any deals. I don't know. I'm not too sure at this moment in time if deals are going to take place at Arsenal Football Club. We're being linked left, right, and center right now with Tom, Dick, and Harry. There is so many different players that we're being linked with, overwhelmingly. And it's interesting because everybody wants Arsenal to sign players in January. People are hoping that Arsenal have the war chest, big money to spend. It's Stan Kroenke going to open up that checkbook and give Arsenal give mikel Arteta what he needs. However, a lot of the reports telling us recently that Arsenal have to sell players. Even Charles Watts done a podcast yesterday with James Benge. He's saying that we need to sell players in order to, free up any cash. No one's obviously giving us. Everyone's running with the FFP narrative, and I will speak about this later on this evening as well. Everyone's running with this FFP narrative. I don't think it's entirely true. I've given you my reasons, and I've told you what I believe the case is. Arsenal need to get results now. It's about results. We've spent too much money. We've committed to too much money. We need to get results. So the only way you're going to be able to do whatever you want is sell players that you already have, So that's the process for this January. And on that basis, if no players get sold, then Arsenal are not buying anyone. And we might struggle to even get a loan deal over the line, which means we're going into the second half of the season with this exact team. So Fabio Vieira, them man, when they come back, they'll be back in there. I mean, they'll give us a little something that we don't have right now because they're injured. But is it going to be enough to carry Arsenal over the line? I don't think so. Many are going to agree with that. But let's look at what's being said. Make sure we are hitting the like button. Do subscribe, all of that type of stuff. We much appreciate every single one of you, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure 5 o'clock you are here, mate. Don't let me down, yeah? Don't let me down, bro. So we've been talking about this young player. Well, I haven't really spoken about this young player. And I actually like this Don. He's only 17 years old. So, I mean, if you're a youth, I don't know if youth's in the chat, but if you're a youth, let him develop, mate. Let him develop. He ain't ready for senior football yet. But this guy, obviously being linked with Arsenal, is, in my opinion, I think this guy is phenomenal. 17 years old, already captained Ajax at 17 years old. Now, the Ajax team ain't as it used to be, or ain't as what it used to be. More young players in that team. I don't really know half of the squad anymore, but he's led them out, and he's done a fantastic job. Only 17 years old. According to reports, Arsenal were interested. They admire the player. They're also looking at Miguel Gutierrez, who we spoke about yesterday, of Girona. Hato is only, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Is it Hato? Hato. He's only 17. He could not qualify for a UK permit, work permit, until he turns 18 in March, which is only 2 months away. As for Gutierrez, his ownership rights split between Real Madrid and City Football Group, Girona's main sponsorship deal, I believe. I think I'm actually reading the wrong report. I should have actually started with the other report and gone on to this one. Crazy. That's their main shareholder, sponsorship. Main shareholder. Anyway, this guy Hato, he's being linked with a move to Arsenal. I want to find the actual report that I was meant to share. I don't know why this one is on the screen, to be quite fair. put the wrong one up. I just see the picture of the youth and thought it was the report I wanted to share. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? What a flop that was. Okay, so anyway, Arsenal are plotting for a move for this young player. He is a decent young player. I've actually watched a few of his highlights recently since we've been linked with him. And you know, the question marks is, can he come to the Premier League and do what he's doing over at the Eredivisie? You know, we can't get gassed based on a few highlights. Obviously, young, still needs to develop. And the Eredivisie is definitely a questionable league. We've seen a number of players come from that league into the Premier League. They haven't done well. Some of those players are looking to get shipped out from their current clubs at this moment in time. So very, very questionable. I can't remember the last player to come from the Eredivisie and turn up in the Premier League. If you remember, do comment down below. Let me know. We're probably going as far back as maybe someone like Van Persie or Van Nistelrooy, or it's been a long time, I think. It's been a long time. I'm trying to think. But there have been some good players over the years coming from that league, like the Ligt, who have been linked with recently. You've got Frankie de Jong of Barcelona, who we've been linked with in the past. But love to see him at Arsenal. What he does for Barcelona is incredible. I think that's the type of midfielder we do need in the middle of the park, to be quite fair. But this young player, I didn't even find the right report. Forget it. I'm just going to just run with this one. Arsenal are plotting to move for the Ajax teenager. Gerald Hatto at the club. As the club, so he looks to shred for Mikel Arteta's defense in the long term. Everything's about the long term. Everything's about the summer with Arsenal. I don't think we are going to be trying to get anything major done in this window, as I've already suggested. But it is what it is. But this young player definitely is one to watch, one for the future. Got bags of quality, and for the manager to have trusted him to captain Ajax at such a young age just goes to show you what type of mentality this player actually possesses. So. Definitely one to look out for, ladies and gentlemen. Do comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this young man. Is he a player that you are aware of? Is he a good enough player to come in at Arsenal and demonstrate the same quality that he's doing over at Eredivisie? Comment down below and let me know. Moving on, Thomas Frank announces that Brentford have no plans to sell Ivan Toney. So yeah, we have to get over this Ivan Toney one, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to happen. No loan, no permanent deal. Nothing's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need defenders or midfielders. We're desperate for a striker, but Fraud Arteta don't like strikers because he can't get them to score. Have you seen the all-white kit we're wearing this weekend? Yeah, we've worn it a few times before. I'm pretty sure it's the same one, isn't it? It's mad that they don't sell it, though. I was looking for it. When they first wore it, I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it. I was like, right, they're selling this, ain't they? Trying to promote it that way? Like, what is it? I was going to buy it at the time, but I don't think I'm going to be buying it now if they ever did sell it anyway. So... same as last year, lone player at the end of the window, same player not needed. Big up Tone says, no, not enough, brother. Big up Roy says, blessed uprising wax in the community. Big you up, my G. Yeah, big up the guys. Big up Nort in the building. I see you, broski. Big DS Electronics, I see you as well. Nothing but love and respect. Make sure we are hitting the like button. But this Ivan Toney situation, yeah, it's not happening. Obviously, Thomas Frank has said yes, he is staying. He is a Brentford player. I can't see why we would sell him, and I would love to have him for a longer time. It needs to be unbelievable price, obviously, to get this one done. So he will stay here, and obviously he knows that Arsenal don't have money to do unbelievable money or to do an unbelievable deal. Anyway. So yeah, man, Ivan Toney's done, but there's no point in talking about Ivan Toney anymore. I know there's Ivan Toney daily on most channels. I ain't been doing Ivan Toney daily. There's no point. Especially when I found out, look, we can't loan two players from one club. I actually thought we could maybe about 3 weeks ago. I actually thought, no, I swear you can loan two players from the same club. But you can't. I read the rules the other day. You can't. So there's no point. We've got David Raya. We're going to make that one permanent. If we could make it permanent in January, then there could be a possibility of convincing Brentford of getting a loan done for Ivan Toney. But no, on that basis, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Do comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on what's going on with Ivan Toney. Of course, we need a striker. I don't know what these guys are thinking. Literally, they're sitting... planning, having their conversations, and there's no conversation or no talks of a striker. We need a striker. Arsenal needs to do everything in their power to get a striker done. You know, it says here Ivan Toney is 100 million. Brentford set their price at 100 million. Bizarre, man. It's bizarre, especially after him being out for 8 months as well. You would think 100 million. You're being stupid. But again, we don't know if it's 100 million, man. That's what the reports are saying. Brentford, I reckon, if you put 60 million pounds on the table for Ivan Toney in January, they're taking that. They're 100% taking that, mate. What else are we talking about? So we've got Dusan Vlahovic. Actually, before we move on to Dusan, we've got an interesting one about Eddie Nketiah. This is what David Oenstein says on. I keep calling him David now, man. Why do I like David? It's called David, bro. I'm not from England. Where did David come from? David Oenstein. David Oenstein. So Eddie Nketiah is subject of concrete interest from Crystal Palace. Yeah, of course he is. Mikel Arteta has said in the past that he doesn't want to sell Eddie Nketiah. I don't know why. Very, very questionable. But he doesn't want to sell him. He doesn't want to let him go. Some reports have come out recently suggesting that you know, if we can sell Eddie Nketiah, then we will go for a striker. I just can't see how Arteta and Eddie are looking at Eddie and Jesus and are comfortable and confident with continuing the rest of the season with just those two strikers. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. Big up Ambrose in the building. Nothing but love and respect to you, my broski. Do you think we'll win on my birthday? Says Aidan. Yeah, man. Well, Liverpool on your birthday? Is that Sunday? Oh, wow. I want us to win. I would like to think we would win, but it's going to be a difficult one. I've got a feeling we're going to get a draw, then we're going to go to Anfield and get beat like 3-1. Some craziness like that. I think because it's going to be at home on Sunday, we've got a good chance of coming out of a draw or all 3 points. Juventus want Patino. I'm reading it the way he spelled it. Why don't we swap with Vlahovic plus cash? Yeah, they want Patino and they want Thomas Partey. Actually, we will get to that. There's been some interesting reports coming out over the past couple of days. You know, Juventus director speaking about Dusan Vlahovic, speaking about him the other day. So we're going to read through those. I swear we can't even make any signings until we sell any players due to profitability and sustainability rules. So that's something that could be questionable. And that could be the ultimate question mark as to why Arsenal have not been, because of the sale of players. And I mean, look, there's various different reasons. FFP, not being able to spend the money due to getting results. The P and the S's, the P and the L's all together. So, you know, it's all down to Arsenal just to cough up that money. I know Arsenal could spend the money based on the accounts, based on the amount of money that Arsenal will generate, based on, you know, all the pressure that they've alleviated over the past couple of years, 2-3 years, the cutbacks, the wage reductions. They've done so much, even covering the stadium debt. Remember, KSE have taken that stadium debt off of Arsenal. Bro, telling you, there's so much. They freed up so much so much money. And you're telling me all that money's been spent. You're telling me we haven't generated even more money since then. We've been killing it in the market since then, especially in the commercial sector. Like, trust me, this is the reason why I don't buy into this FFP stuff. I really don't buy into it. Obviously, with what you've just suggested there, that could fall under the FFP or Premier League, the Premier League FFP. So yeah, FFP could be technically an issue, but I think Arsenal have got the money there. I just think Arsenal are not willing to commit to more money this season after spending 240 million and, you know, still not being where we want to be, you know. And where we want to be is winning the Premier League. We have to do that, man. I don't think Arsenal were even expecting to give Arteta 240 million and then having to reinvest more money in the January window. I just don't think that was a part of the forecast. I don't think that was a part of the plan whatsoever. You know, I think they thought 240 million. You've got your squad. You've been given money over the years. Here's another 240 million. We go again, but this time we get it right. Right now, you come in asking me for money for a striker isn't getting it right. So again, all I'm doing is looking at it all from a business perspective. And from a business perspective, us committing to more money in January based on the project that we are in doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So the only way we can do it is by selling players. Obviously, there are rules and regulations about, you know, the financial side of things, and you know, you have to sell players. You know, obviously, Edu's done a poor job at doing that, and that's probably, it could be one of the main things that Arsenal are looking at. And then again, that just brings into that is what that does right there. Even that right there brings into play the whole reason why money ain't being spent. The whole because look, how can this guy that I've employed, how can this Don not be turning over any money through player sales? They're like, you remember Stan Kroenke, and they're looking at Aubameyang, they're looking at all these Dons as assets. They don't care about the quality of the players. They look at the numbers and they're sitting there saying, okay, this guy's on 350k, he's worth this type of money to me. Why are we terminating contracts? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Now, explanations can be had or be made, but ultimately the owner and the people that are employing you are going to question every single one of these decisions. And then it puts the whole project into scrutiny. And that's what I was trying to say earlier, actually. It brings the whole project into scrutiny because it's like, okay, I've given you so much money. You're coming back to me. You're asking me for more money. We haven't even achieved a trophy, or like, what's going on here? So questions are being asked. And that's, again, how I've been looking at it. But Eddie and Nketiah, back to where I was anyway, because I've just literally waffled on for about 5 minutes, where zoned out into a waffle session. But it says here, Arsenal's stance is obviously to keep Eddie Nketiah. It doesn't make any sense to me. But if that changes, the expectation is that Palace will push hard for the signing. You know, so Crystal Palace extremely interested in Eddie Nketiah, according to the reports. How true it is, we don't know. Well, it's David Ornstein that's actually saying this. So again, for those that are at the back, Eddie is subject to concrete interest from Crystal Palace as of now. Arsenal's stance is to keep Eddie Nketiah, but if that changes, the expectation is that Palace push hard for his signing. So Crystal Palace, they've been extremely interested in Eddie Nketiah for quite some time. Arsenal have always been reluctant to sell. They always want to keep Eddie around. So let's see if this is the window where we decide, you know what, we need to do bigger and better, because Eddie is not the answer. Big up Eddie. You know, you've tried, you've been given opportunity to try, but ultimately you're just not good enough, isn't it? And you know, we need to move you on. And I think this could be the window where Arsenal or Eddie uses his noodle for once and decides to cash in on Eddie and figure out a deal for another striker. Obviously, that what's his name? Is it Sohi Gurasi? I know Grant. Big up Grant in the chat. You brought him to my attention before. I wasn't familiar with who he was until you brought him to my attention. Looked at his numbers and I thought, okay, you know, he's doing well in the Bundesliga at the moment, but he's only worth 15 million. He's got a buyout clause, I believe, in his contract for 15 million pounds. That Gurasi guy. Big up Static in the building. I see you, my broski. Big up Cho, the great, nothing but love and respect. He says breaking Mikel Arteta person 37 on Epstein. Oh no, Cho. He is a championship level. That's Eddie Nketiah. I've always said it. I've always said Eddie Nketiah's championship level is not good enough. And right now would be the best time to cash in on him. Arsenal are in a good position as a football club. You know, people perceive us to be a club that's on stuff right now. So, and you've done it with these type of players. So you know what? There must be something with Eddie. Eddie must be bringing something. Those type of things can inspire clubs to actually put more money down on the table, or even just put money down on the table for a player. And whilst the money's down on the table, you need to just close the deal, bro. You don't want to be hesitating. You don't want to renegotiate. Just get the Don out the door. Get the Don out the door with a bad boy plan to bring in an improvement. That's just it. That's all we want to know. That's Edu, Richard Garlick. That's your job. Richard, you're there to look at the numbers to make sure it's feasible. Edu, you're there to connect with the agent. Make sure we've got a plan for this, Don. Get Mikel Arteta on the phone to let them know how we're going to integrate this Don into this team. Bam, bang, boom. Yeah, get it done. That's it. That's it. It's a 1 week process, no longer than that. Let's get it done. Whether it's Ivan Toney, whether it's Dujan Vlahovic, whether it's someone else, we just need to get it done. To sell Eddie Nketiah now. Exactly, mate. Gee. Eddie at 18 is better than Eddie at 24. How has that happened? Exactly that. But yeah, Eddie potentially could be out the door in January. Don't expect it though. I literally don't expect it. Like I said, expect no deals. Expect no deals, and then when the deals happen, they're more exciting then, isn't it? They're actually more exciting then. So that's how I do it. Anyway, moving on. David Orenstein also talks about Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is someone else that I wanted to talk about in the stream. Mikel Arteta really likes Pedro Neto, as we do know. He's been following the player for quite some time. He's been injured for, I think, about 7 to 8 weeks. He's been out on the sidelines for. Sad, really, because he started off the season with a bang. The guy is still at this moment in time, is at the top of the assist chart. So no one's been able to assist more goals than him since he's been out for 8 weeks. He started off the season with a proper bang. And Pedro Neto is a player that I've always kind of entertained the idea of having. You know, I reckon if Arsene Wenger was still at Arsenal, Pedro Neto would be at Arsenal. That's the type of player that Arsene Wenger would have brought in. Obviously, question marks over his injury records, and you know, that's always going to be the case, especially when he had that. He was out for like 12 months at one point, isn't it? Literally right off. It's since then he never come back fighting. I think 18 games he played. As I remember, we were talking about it before. 18 games he played. Didn't really do anything in those games. I was watching those games as well. Didn't really have much impact. Wolves were going through a difficult time, battling relegation as well. But then they find themselves. I think new manager come in, new manager bounce. Everything started looking hunky-dory, and Pedro Neto has kind of been on smoke ever since. Boy, he's been on smoke ever since. It's just this injury that's kept him out has kind of stagnated that trajectory right now. So let's just see what he's like when he comes back. But Arsenal are still interested. Arsenal want to get a deal done. Mikel Arteta likes him. There's question marks over Mikel Arteta. There's question marks over Martinelli at the moment. And I'm not too sure if Martinelli is able to find himself again this season. This could be like a real drop-off season for Martinelli because of the way we're playing as a team. You know, we haven't improved on the Granit Xhaka position, and I think Granit Xhaka allowed Martinelli so much freedom. He was one of the main reasons as to why multiple players had freedom and was able to play with more fluidity. We had more balance in the middle. Even though we've got Declan Rice now, I think it's just Declan Rice by himself. Before we had Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. So it's that's the missing piece to this current puzzle, and one of the reasons as to why Arsenal haven't been performing as we were last season, especially when it comes to playing with that fluid football. And it's mad to actually think that it was Granit Xhaka that gave us that freedom. But Pedro Neto, definitely a player that would come in, give Saka a run for his money, give Martinelli a run for his money, give us more options. I think Trossard's been underwhelming this season. I'm starting to just forget about Trossard. He's starting to become one of those players that are not. He's like one of my least favorite now. It's like you used to be one of my favorites last season. I like what you were doing. I liked how you used to kind of influence the game, whether you were starting, whether you were coming off the bench. You were just someone that was just always influential. And now Trossard seems to have vanished. He just doesn't really seem like the player he was last season. So, yeah, I think we kind of need to just shake it up a little bit. Martinelli, Saka, they're the main dons. Trossard, you're getting old. I think let's just move him on, try and get our 27 million back. He could be a sacrifice in this January window, maybe. I don't know. There could be a team that takes Trossard off our hands. Some people might say, no, don't do that. We need Trossard. We'd rather sell Reece Nelson. After giving him 100K in the summer, I don't think we're going to be getting rid of Reece Nelson anytime soon. So, yeah, man, let's see what happens. But, yeah, to Arsenal Football Club, what David Ornstein is saying anyway, there's no expectation of him leaving Wolves in January. Summer could well be a different story, of course it can. Man City like him as well, as do a couple of other big clubs. We know Arsenal have a long-standing admiration, but there has been no recent overtures from them. So no contact, no nothing for Pedro Neto, a player that Arsenal are still eyeing, still keeping tabs on, of course. But no one's gonna, it wouldn't make sense for any club to push for Pedro Neto based on the current situation that he finds himself in. Do you know what I mean? And that's on the injury list. He's injured, bro. He's injured. No one wants an injured player. So for Pedro Neto, it's obvious that he's going to stay at Wolves, go through his rehabilitation, build himself back up in the second half of the season. So when the summer comes, big clubs are there. Big clubs come. He just needs to make sure that he stays fully fit. All right. So on the topic of attackers, we're going to talk about Dusan Vlahovic. Now, this is pretty interesting because Fabrizio Romano put it out on his Instagram yesterday. We got the guys in the chat that actually showed me this, or in a group chat yesterday that showed me this. Fabrizio Romano on Instagram basically said, breaking, Dusan Vlahovic not for sale, says the Juventus director, Juan Tolli. I think that's how you pronounce it. He says, we don't know anything about Arsenal's proposal. There's nothing to say as Dusan is not on the market. What should Arsenal do in January? Question mark. That's obviously a question from Fabrizio Romano. So that's pretty interesting. I saw that yesterday, and then I thought, you know what? I need to go and find more of this. Like, where's the actual article? So I found a bit more of it. Sayman says, a bid from Arsenal for Dusan Vlahovic. We don't know anything about that story. There's nothing. Vlahovic is not for sale. So very, very similar to what Fabrizio Romano has just stated on his Instagram. But it's really interesting that they're being asked about this. Like, this is what you got to think. This is really interesting that the directors of Juventus are being asked about rumors, because the rumors between Arsenal and Dusan haven't been that strong. Let's be honest. I mean, we sit down and talk about this shit every single day. It haven't been that strong. It's been a couple of reports here and there, but nothing really compelling to make any one of us believe that Arsenal are really going to go for Dusan, especially after the news that we have in regards to FFP and profits and losses, the P&Ls and etc. etc. So, like, it's like this. There's nothing strong here. There's nothing strong here. And then you got questions being asked to the director of Juventus about links between Arsenal and Dusan. Now, obviously, he squashed it. He's saying, well, he's not for sale. Nothing. I ain't heard nothing about it. So on that basis, take this. Don't take it for gospel. Take it with a pinch of salt. Nothing serious is actually happening between Arsenal and Dusan, according to what's being said here. But it's mad how the media are asking about it. And maybe the media are asking about it because there's information that some outlets or some reporters have or got, maybe whether it's in Italy, whether they're in the UK, which I haven't found personally, that make them believe that something is happening. Maybe Edu has been in conversation with the agent. There was a report that came out the other day to suggest that Dusan was actually offered to Arsenal. So maybe, the director is just acting like you don't know what's going on, but something is going on, and they're ready to let Dusan go without trying to make it a problem. Without trying to unsettle the player. They don't want to unsettle the team. They don't want to unsettle the player, so they kind of have a response like, bro, he's not for sale. What are you talking about? But behind the scenes, we're making deals happen. Static says, sorry, Wax, I have to disagree. Trossard is 29, and I would give him until the end of the season. He needs to be starting and playing more as a CF, since Nketiah and Jesus are not doing great right now. I mean, perhaps, but I wouldn't be against that. What I'm trying to do right now, Static, is I'm just trying to figure out a way on how Arsenal can improve and how Arsenal can get that money to improve as well. Is Trossard the right person to sell at this moment in time to even help on that basis? I wouldn't say so. I mean, 25 million is not really going to help us significantly in this market. So, I mean, Trossard wouldn't be the first player I would sell. But, when you're just looking at what players are doing at the moment, and you're starting to question them and you're starting to think, oh, well, he's 29 now anyway. So, should we start looking at him being a player that we sell? And maybe in the summer, it could be an option on the table. Arsenal might say, you know what, Trossard, yeah, we'll cut our loss. We'll take 20 million for you. Go back to Belgium or, go to wherever and, live life, because I just don't think it's entirely works for Trossard. And I know we've got these, CF problems, but I don't even fully trust Trossard in a CF role. I think when Trossard plays central, and I've seen it enough now to say I would probably prefer him on the left-hand side. Like I would prefer him on the left channel, just on that left wing, terrorizing defenders on that left wing with his trickery, cutting inside, providing play, taking chances. He's got a beautiful shot and all of that type of stuff. So I think he could be utilized better in that type of role other than in a central role. When he plays as an 8 or when he plays as a 9, I think he goes missing. I think Trossard goes missing. He might pop up with a goal because he has got the quality, he has got the techers to be in. If he finds himself in the right position and the ball comes to him, he's going to bang. He's not some dud player, but I think he goes missing in those games. I honestly think he goes missing. I would prefer him out wide, but that's just my opinion anyway. Big you up, my guy, Static. No, but love and respect as always, man. The number one mod in the building. Make sure you pay your respects to Static, bro. Yo, Wax, I don't see we are buying a striker. No, absolutely not at this moment in time. It's all links, man. Links and rumors. So that's all we can do is just kind of speculate, share what's being said, and keep it stepping. But this Dusan stuff is interesting, and I would love to see him at the club. He has been one of my favorite strikers over the years, and I do want to see him at some point join Arsenal. But whether that's going to happen in January or whether that's going to happen in the summer, we don't know. I'm likely to think or likely to believe it will take place in the summer. I mean, Sky Sports have talking about it as well. I mean, Sky Sports have actually said Arsenal will return for Dusan Vlahovic this winter. I mean, I don't know who at Sky Sports has said it because they've only quoted Sky Sports in the feed, but an offer of 60 million euros could convince Juventus to sell. That's all this basically says. Transfer market as well. Transfer market. So they're saying Sky Sports have said Arsenal will return for Dusan Vlahovic this winter. An offer of 60 million euros could convince Juventus to sell. So again, I don't know what's going on, man. But it's just weird how the director of Juventus, the sporting director, Cristiano Giuntoli, he has been asked about this rumor in the media by the media. It doesn't make any sense why that would be the case if there isn't something kind of happening behind the scenes, man. So let's wait and see. Maybe there was conversations between the agent and Arsenal many years ago when he joined Juventus, and they basically said to Arsenal, look, when let's see how this Juventus thing goes. When he's back in the Champions League, we'll talk, because obviously the money situation, and I think even Arsenal might have been ones who even mention that, not just the agent, because they want to make sure the finances are right. Remember, when we were trying to get Dusan, we were still going through a transition of sorting out the finances, trying to get players out the door. We were still trying to figure things out. So there could have been conversations back then, which have not been made public, because not everything is made public. And and we could be there now. We could be at that point now where we're back on the phone with the agent saying, listen, we're in a good place. We've got the money to get this deal done. And it's a perfect time for Arsenal to make that approach, because it's not like he's not doing well. I mean, I think he's doing decent enough at Juventus. I think that it's not as great as many people think it is in terms of the system and the football. I just don't think it suits certain players at Juventus. And on that basis, I think it's a good time to take advantage and say, listen, we're in a good place. We're playing good football. So many believe. And we've got the money. Let's get it done. The Champions League, we're going for the league. We need someone that can give us 15 goals or 15 GA at a bare minimum in the second half of this season. Is Dusan the guy for it? Or in the summer, we need to win the league, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, man, let's see what happens with that one. We are being linked with more fullbacks. We were told yesterday that Arsenal want to prioritize a left back. Not too sure how true this all is. It's so weird, bro. But, you're going into the window knowing that we need a striker, and all of a sudden you want to prioritize a left back. You've got our best left back is on loan. to Real Sociedad. In fact, I was watching highlights of Kieran Tierney this morning, funny enough. This morning when I woke up, I was watching highlights of Kieran Tierney. The guy's a baller, bro. Why have we not got Kieran Tierney here, bro? I mean, this is just a news update. For anyone that, this is a news update. I'm not trying to even share real opinions or trying to rant or do anything like that on this. I just want to keep it to the news because there's so much being spoken about in regards to Arsenal. So do forgive me if I sound a bit, is it journalistic? Would I say that? Is that the right word to use? But yeah, I just don't. It doesn't make any sense for me for why Kieran Tierney is why Kieran Tierney is actually out on loan, and we're here trying to prioritize a left back. What does it make any sense of it? I just can't do it. I just can't do it, ladies and gentlemen. Arteta is a fraud, just a coach with no plan B. This Turkish kid sucks. Where's Trossard works best is as number 9 or in Xhaka role. Oh wow! So Pete, you have a different opinion. I just don't agree with that. I just feel like when we have Trossard in the number 8 role, we get outrun in midfield. It's proven. He's proven it this season. I mean, even against Luton, I think we had Trossard in the number 8 role. We were losing the battle in the midfield so many times. It's one of the reasons why Luton gave us a good game. In games that we lost, Trossard playing as a number 8, we were losing the battle in midfield. Whether Trossard's good enough for the role or those 3 players playing as a 3-man midfield are just not. There's no cohesion. They don't have a clear understanding of where they need to be and how they need to play as a 3-man midfield. Whether that's the case, I don't know. But as far as I'm seeing, Trossard goes missing in the middle of the park, man. I need to see Trossard on the wings. You know what it is? Let me tell you something. It's a fact, actually. If you go and look back at Trossard, when Trossard played for Brighton, the managers really played him as a false 9. The managers were playing him as a left wing back. How about that? How about Trossard was scoring goals against the big teams? Trossard was playing against like the Man Uniteds, the Chelseas. He was playing as a left wing back. Okay. Obviously, it was a system for Brighton to obviously try and nullify the attacking threat and hit those teams on counter attacks. Obviously, that was the play. But he was playing as a left wing back. Now, if he was better for Brighton at that time in the central area, they'll be playing him as a number 9. They'll be playing. He's not that done. It's not that done. Let's not get carried away. He's a winger. He needs to be on the wing. He's got the pace. He's got the trickery to beat men on the channels and put balls on the plate for players. If he's got midfielders that give him more space, then even better because he can cut inside and he can start doing bangers into the top corner. That's where we need him. Trossard will go missing as a number 8. You might see moments of brilliance where he gets the ball and he looks like he can do something. Oh, something can happen here. But remember what Arteta football's all about. Arteta football's all about controlling possession. If you can't find a pass, if you can't, you know what I mean? You know what these guys are going to do. They're going to pick an easy route. That's why we're not seeing that from Trossard. We're not seeing that from him in the middle of the park because he's just taking an easy route. He's not being as effective as we know he could be. I just want to see more from him. I want to see more from him, to be quite fair. And I think he's been underwhelming this season. So I didn't even read the rest of your comment, Alex. He goes missing. Look at the games against Barcelona. Out wide, he goes missing. Look at the games against Barcelona and Everton in the Champions League. You know what? Maybe again, if he goes missing out wide, or if he's going missing out wide, Alex, maybe it's because of the system itself. Because who else is going missing out wide? Martinelli. It seems like whoever you put out wide is going missing because that's the system itself. That's the fact that we don't have Xhaka in here anymore. Xhaka was orchestrating that left side channel perfectly. We don't have anyone doing that anymore. So whoever you put on that left wing is going missing. So I'm not even like on the left wing last season. He got 10 assists. He never played anywhere else last season. He might have played one time in a central position, or 2 times in a central position. He got 10 assists in 20 games playing on the left wing last season. It clearly shows that's his best position, bro. Yeah, man. Like Trossard has to play the Cazorla role. Nah, man, you're getting it wrong. It's not that type. He's not that type of player, bro. He's not that type of player, man. People felt the same way about ESR. Like people felt the same way about ESR. These men are not built to play in the central areas. They're wide players. They're wide players, man. Trust me. I mean, it's all opinions at the end of the day, but you know, I'm of the opinion that ESR and Trossard, they're both wide players. Unfortunately, I just don't see. I actually at one point, Trossard never played against Barcelona. I know, well, someone's making some shit up, boy. Who said he played against Barcelona? Hey, Alex, is that you, bro? Games against Barcelona. Oh no, Static got you, man. The mod's on job. Yeah, no, Trossard's a good player. Trust me, I'm not saying he's not. He's a good player, but yeah, I think they're better. I think they're better on the flanks. Yes, he did in pre-season. I don't know. Did we play Barcelona in pre-season? Yeah, we did, didn't it? And Trossard, I think he did. He scored past them, innit? Yeah, he did. He scored past them. He actually scored past them. Yeah, we beat them 5-2. Yeah. You're right. There you go. He did score as well, innit? But that's when, listen, that's what I'm saying. I actually said on the stream yesterday, Trossard, up until the Community Shield, Trossard was on smoke. Since the Community Shield, Trossard hasn't been on nothing, bro. I have to be honest. Trossard's had glimpses this season, but since the Community Shield, since winning us that Community Shield, Trossard hasn't been on nothing, bro. I have to be totally honest. And I think he's disappointed. I think Mikel Arteta has done a lot of cultural damage with the dismissal of Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale, we're going to talk about this tonight anyway at 5 o'clock. Make sure you're there, yeah? I think Mikel Arteta has done a lot of damage with dismissing Ramsdale the way he's been dismissed, basically. And yeah, we'll see, man. Only time will tell, won't it? But yeah, I've got to keep it stepping in a minute because I've got to shoot off to the barbers. Let me what else am I here to talk about? We're talking about Onana, innit? So this guy, obviously, we've got on the screen, yeah, this young player, Ferdi Kadioglu. Oh man, I got some flaming throat, man. Definitely not well. Yeah, Ferdi Kadioglu plays for Fenerbahce over in Turkey. I'm not overly familiar with the player. I've seen a few of his highlights since we've been linked with him. He does look like a good player, but again, we're looking at a player that's playing in an easy peasy league. So it's really hard to judge. You know, we can see that he's got quality. We can see that he looks like a player that will definitely fit in well with the squad, with the team. The type of fullback we need, that it looks like he can invert, looks like he can overlap, looks like he can do everything that we need of a fullback. So on that basis, yeah, we can, you know, put a bid in for him, take a chance. Not too sure how much money it's going to cost us, but according to reports coming out of Turkey, Arsenal are, looking to sign this player next week. Look, Arsenal officials set to fly to Turkey next week to discuss the potential signing. So again, Arsenal must have some sort of money there. Maybe what the media is telling us about FFP, or what we've kind of just what's been brewing in the media over the past couple of weeks. It's just been BS, just for clicks, just for talks, just for content. And maybe Arsenal do have the money there to get done. So, you know, let's see what happens, because if these guys they don't have, usually they put a number one medal next to the name of the report, or the journalist, or whoever it is, the reporter. They don't seem to have it next to these dons. So you can't take it as gospel, man. Can't take it as gospel. But let's see what happens. Obviously, more talk about Dusan Vlahovic. It does seem like there's a lot of interest in Dusan. But yeah, let's move on to the main topic of discussion. Before I wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, make sure we hit the like button, do subscribe to the channel if we are new, turn the notification bells on, all of that type of stuff. And yes, I appreciate every single one of you, man. My brain's not with it this morning. I've only been up for about an hour or so. My brain is not with it. No cup of coffee. Just can't even think right now. It's a mad thing. Late nights, early mornings, or late nights. It's like late nights, early mornings, but it's like late nights to like early morning, late nights. You know, like it's crazy. It's crazy. I need to pattern up my sleeping pattern. I swear down. If Everton sell Onana, they are getting relegated. He is their main guy. Big up my guy Darth Vader. Big up all the members in the building. Big up all the members in general. Make sure If you want to become a member, click on that join button, man, and support what we are doing over here. We've got some great content. We've got members-only content as well. Some more of that dropping over the next coming days and weeks. So make sure you join and get yourself involved, man. 5 o'clock, though. The big one at 5. Me, Kevin Campbell, lead judges. We'll be chopping it up. No hold barred. Unraw. Don't even know the name of my own stream. Raw and uncut. Unraw. Fuck you know what I'm talking. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Make sure you guys join me, man. Make sure you guys join me. Don't worry, I'll be fully awake by then. With probably about million cups of latte in my system. Don't worry about it. But yeah, the main topic of discussion is going to be Amadou Onana. According to reports, Arsenal have approached Everton. To get this one done. For the midfielder Amadou Onana. Arteta is a huge admirer of Onana. Arsenal are keen to beat the competition to Onana's signature, and sources state that they want to bring him in this month. Now. Fully awake and unraw. Fuck, you know. Oh, you know what? It's the yeah, man. It's mad. It's the hay fever. It's the hay fever meds. That's what it is, bro. Gotta go. See you tonight. Big up Static, man. Make sure you're there, Static, man. We need the main mod controlling the chat. Yeah. Yeah, it's the hay fever meds, man. That's how it works sometimes, man. So it just needs to be easy. We need some African steel. Yeah, we definitely do, man. And Amadou Onana brings us that, man. Amadou Onana is a beast. Amadou Onana. I mean, some people have questioned Amadou, and they've said that they don't think he's good on the ball. I have to kind of argue that and say, no. I don't know what he's been producing this season for Everton. I haven't religiously watched Everton. Maybe see them on Match of the Day, but I haven't seen too much to kind of really say, all right, Onana's been this, that, the other this season. But from last season when I was watching him, the ability to even do like, you know who he actually reminds me of, the perfect player to actually say, to use as a description for Amadou Onana is Paul Pogba. And some people might not agree with that, but I think he reminds me of Paul Pogba. Does anyone agree with that? Have I got it? Am I just way off with that one? I actually think he reminds me of Paul Pogba. And there's a few games that I've watched with his ball control. He actually looks good on the ball. He's putting it through man's legs and running on. I'm like, right, it's lanky Don. I've got the pace to do that. He's fast. He's aggressive. He's great in the tackle. His timing of the tackle's on point. He's definitely someone that you would bring in as a number 6. You can just rely on to sit there and just. His lanky legs will get him everywhere. He'll be like a spider. He's like a spider. He's got these lanky legs will get him everywhere. He'll have Saliba behind him, Gabriel Magalhaes behind him. Hey, listen, I think we can shut down. And then you've got the extra bit of support coming from Declan Rice. Can you imagine having Declan Rice and Onana shutting you down in the corner flag? You're just gonna flap, and it's gonna go out for a goal kick. And these guys, like, bro, beasts. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Beasts. These guys are beasts, and at least most of you guys agree. Actually, I've got people agreeing. He does remind me of Paul Pogba. It's like it's just the footwork, and it's obviously the build and the physique and all of that as well. But it's the footwork. Paul Pogba had great footwork, and he was a great passer of the ball, great techers, great technique. Onana's slightly got that in his game. And remember, Onana's only 21. With the right coaching, which I'm not too sure if he's going to get that for Mikel Arteta. Still questionable at this moment in time, but you never know. Mikel Arteta was a midfielder, right? But with the right coaching, Onana could go on and actually have more potential and live up to the levels that the Paul Pogbas was never able to reach, but had the potential to reach. Do you understand what I mean? So that could be interesting. That could be extremely interesting. Let's see how that one goes, though. In terms of his overall development. But Arsenal want to get it done. Arsenal seem to be keen, and according to what these guys are saying, they want to get it done in January. How much is it going to cost for Arsenal to get this one done? It's probably going to cost about, I would say, 40 million. I think 40 million to get this one done. Even less than that. We could probably get this one over the line for about 30 million pounds. Because of Everton's situation at the moment, they need to alleviate pressure. They need to sell players. That's the only way they can do it at this moment in time. They face more point deductions later on in the season. So it depends on how this investigation goes, because they're currently under a mad investigation. So let's see how it goes, man. They're going to need the money. And I think this is a perfect time for any team to, if you're looking at Everton right now and you feel like Dominic Calvert-Lewin or any one of these players are going to be good for your team, right now is the perfect opportunity for you to pounce on Everton. Because Everton are just going to be like, yeah, doors open, bruv. Take anyone you want. You know, like one of those shops that are closing down. One of those shops that are closing down, you walking past it and says, yeah, everything in this shop must go. You're like, what? Everything in this shop must go. Wow, in there. Let me see what they got. Let me see what they got in there. Next thing you know, you see Amadou Onana sitting there on a shelf. You pick him up and he helps carry you to a Premier League title, bro. I mean, that's a lovely ending story, bro. A lovely end to the story. You might as well make that happen, Arsenal. Wilkinsons, that's what I'm saying. God, everything must go. We're shutting down. The only way we can flip and survive is if everything goes right now. Like them shops that say everything must go, we're closing on this day. They're liquidation. They're finished. They're complete done. You know, Everton ain't that bad. But Everton are still in a position where, you know, everything must go. Otherwise, it's tough times for Everton. They're going to find themselves in a championship. I think they're one of the only other teams that have never been relegated from the Premier League before. So that'll be interesting. And then Mashuri will have to sell the club. I think he's already in the process trying to find buyers. But then if he finds the right buyers, it's going to be more problems for us, because just say Arabs decide that they want to turn Merseyside into, I don't know, flipping Dubai. Basically, they might just do a madness. They might say, you know what, we're turning Everton into Man City. We're gonna take over land. We're gonna build a whole new Goodison Park. I mean, a team will do. There'll be owners that will be willing to do that. Someone out there will come to Everton and say, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna turn Everton into. It's gonna happen over the next coming years. It could be West Ham. It could be one of those other teams, but it's gonna happen to someone. And I've got a feeling it could be Everton. I think Everton could be the next team to get taken over by like a big oil company, oil owners, and next thing you know, Everton are making it difficult for Arsenal. It's already difficult, ladies and gentlemen. It's already difficult. We need them. Diaby, Adebayor, Sagna type signings again from the Wegner era. Pace and power combined with Tekers. No more Fabio Vieiras and Cedrics. It's mad because you see Arsene Wenger gets tarnished for people think that he started bringing in soft dons. He started bringing in little weak dons. And to a degree he was, but it was only for certain positions. He was still finding those physical players. The Adebayors, the Diabys. Unfortunately for Diaby, it didn't work out for him because of injury, but he was still trying to find those players, the Sagnas. You know, Sagna was with us until 2014, until he decided to, you know, fuck off to Man City and win himself a fucking title, yeah? You know, it is what it is, but we still had the muscle there. We're still bringing in muscle. You know what I mean? Even Coquelin, let's be honest, Coquelin was muscle, bro. People know Coquelin was muscle. He was one of the most aggressive DMs in the Premier League, bro. When Santi Cazorla and Coquelin had that little partnership and they run riot in midfield for most of the season, remember, Coquelin was on smoke, blood. So Wax Onana is another shitter. He's another bang average player. I don't want this guy. Big up Alfie. Man, I disagree, man. He's 21 years old. I think that's a bit harsh. I think he's got qualities. And he's demonstrated that. You know, you got to think he's not in a great place right now. He's not in the best environment. New manager with Sean Dyche over at Everton. They've been through a difficult time since Onana's signed for their club. I'm pretty sure he was signed by Frank Lampard. Since Frank Lampard's been sacked, how many managers have they had? They've had Sean Dyche. I'm pretty sure they had someone else before Sean Dyche. The man's already seen a number of managers. He's only been in England for less than 2 years. Like, it's crazy. You know, he's not mentally where he needs to be. And for a 21-year-old, that could be detrimental. Arsenal could be saviors. Arsenal could be his savior and save him, bring him out of the dark, bring him into the light, and turn him into the next Paul Pogba, an even better version of Paul Pogba. But that's the type of player I see in Onana. That's the type of player I see in him. It's just about him going to a team, working with a manager, to get that out of him. You know, them way there. That's all it is, man. But anyway, guys, I have to go, man. I got a dash. I got to go all the way to West London to go and get my haircut and then back. Prepare for the stream that we've got going on at 5 p.m. with Kevin Campbell and Lee Judges, of course, I got to wake up. You see me in the stream, I was all over the place, like, yeah, all over the place. Yeah, I couldn't even think, but don't worry, I'll be awake, mate. Cups of coffee, cups of latte, will be awake. Yeah, I need to sort out my sleeping pattern. I remember Frank Lampard bought Onana. That's just what I'm saying, man. He good eye. Big up Lampard. I think Lampard, one thing we can say about Lampard, because I know Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Wayne Rooney, they've all been tarnished of recent about their managerial status and what they've been able to achieve and so on and so forth. Steven Gerrard under pressure in flipping Saudi Arabia as we speak. Yeah, he's on the verge of being sacked. Can you imagine? Steven Gerrard is on the verge of being sacked in Saudi Arabia. It's questionable, right? Anyhow, out of all three of those managers, I would say Frank Lampard's the better manager, especially when it comes to identifying talent. If you look at the players that Frank Lampard has actually identified, a lot of them have been good players. But unfortunately, the circumstances have just not worked out and it hasn't gone their way. And that's the same with Amadou Onana. Exactly the same. But anyway, guys, big up Joe, big up Whittle, big up Grant, big up Abdullah, big up Tony, big up John, big up every single one of you. Remember, we are back again later on today at 5 p.m. You do not want to miss out. Me, Lee Judges, Kevin Campbell, we are going to be chopping it up. Yeah, we're going to be chopping it up, talking Arsenal, raw and uncut, no hold bars, putting everything on the table. We've seen recently that Lee Judges hasn't been overly happy with what Arsenal have been doing. He's been ranting a lot. Is he going to rant for us tonight? Who knows? Now, it's going to be interesting because I will rage. I might just rage. No, I'm joking, man. We're gonna be civil. But we're going to be civil, but we're going to be raw and we're going to be uncut. All right? Cool. The real deal. Make sure you are hitting the like button. See you guys at 5 p.m. And yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. Peace. You, yeah. I'm talking to you, blood. I need you to hit the like button.